you're also in the midst of a whirlwind summer with festival appearances and the upcoming release of the new album. How has it been balancing the excitement of those live shows with the anticipation of the album launch?
Well, it goes hand in hand because we're taking this chance of performing festivals to start playing new songs that have not been released yet. So um, it's like a warm up for our big headline tour in Europe, as well as being exciting for itself because festivals are always exciting times and exciting events. So many people are involved, meeting other friends and musicians you haven't seen in a while. So it's a lot of great energy all around. And knowing we have a new album coming up is very exciting. And we're also trying new things. We've upgraded our show with a bigger production and more props. For instance, we brought some things in Metal Fest that were created for our headline tour. So those shows are like a preliminary taste of how it will feel to be on stage for this big headline tour. But at the same time, we're very excited to have a nice festival season and that it's happening when we have an album release. It's all together. It's very exciting. Yeah.
Mhm. Of course. You mentioned playing some of the new music. How much of the new material would you say that you guys have performed live so far?
So far, we've performed 4 songs.
Okay, awesome. Wow. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
And previous albums have touched on nautical and pirate themes, but now you have fully embraced that imagery and storytelling. What led you guys to fully dive into it?
So when I joined the band back in 2013, I told Thomas, yeah, I want to join. I just want to be able to write my own lyrics because it's very important for me as a singer not to feel like a complete interpret. If I already sing someone else's music, I need to sing my own words and put my soul into the songs. So he said, "Yeah, all right, you can write the lyrics." So I had to make that entire Visions of Atlantis universe my own for me to be able to write for it. So I had a look at what had been done, and I thought, okay, there is this big ocean related theme going on. I'm going to keep that as a respect to the roots of Visions of Atlantis, the name of Visions of Atlantis, but also because you can say so much with the ocean, and I've always loved this place and the stories around it and the legends and all, and the pirate world also. And then I thought, all right, let's take the oceans. And then Visions of Atlantis, what are we? Oh, we're a metal band. And what are metalheads? Metalheads are kind of rebellious compared to, going like not following the crowd, the mainstream, the popular stuff. Metalheads, they go their own road. So I thought, okay, so who are the rebels of the ocean? It's the pirates. It was so obvious to me. So I suggested that already back in the days in 2013 to Tom to make Visions of Atlantis a pirate themed band. And back then, the idea didn't click with him, and I was very sad. But at the same time, I was like, all right, I'm still gonna do pirate stuff. So we had the people from Ibanez Privateers appear in one video for the Deep in the Dark. I wrote a song called "The Silent Mutiny" in the Deep in the Dark, and then "Wonder" is more about lost travelers. So I kind of use the imagery of the pirate world without branding it as pirates. And then when we were writing Pirates, the first album, Pirates, I was still talking about all that and projecting imageries in there. And Meek, who joined the band, was passionate about the pirate world as well. We both like started to create something that was going into even more in that direction. And our producer at some point said, "Guys, you're talking so much about pirates. Why don't you just become a pirate band?" And I told him, "Ask Thomas, tell him that you think that's a good idea as well." And so when Tom here heard that from him at that time after COVID, that resonated. And from that moment on, we decided, okay, our new album, like, it's gonna be a pirate oriented album. We decided to call it Pirates to make a big statement that this is the universe that we now want to evolve in. It's like we emerged from the deep and the dark, we got lost, and then we found ourselves. This is the meaning of that first trilogy of the albums I took part of with Visions of Atlantis.
That's amazing. And with the time between the first Pirates album and the second one, did you and Meek have a stockpile of leftover ideas from the first album, or was the writing process for this sequel a completely fresh start?
So it was a continuity because Meek writes music all the time. So it's not like there ever was a real stop in between. It's just that he writes songs, and at some point we're like, we need to make an album, so we choose songs to make the album, and then he keeps writing songs, and we choose songs to make an album. So, of course, in the process, you know, there are moments where we're like, okay, we started the album started shape. We see the kind of musics we have. We're like, okay, now we should write. We still need one or two ballads. Oh, we need a heavier song, or this song is cool but it's too mid-tempo-ish. We already have two mid-tempos on the album. Maybe this one we put aside. Like, we wrote way more material than what ended up on Pirates too, because now that we have found ourselves and our universe, it's way easier. Like, inspiration is flowing because there is so much to explore in this universe that we're also creating. So it's like you create something and you explore it at the same time. And so this is very inspiring. Meek has already wrote songs, and I've seen the folder on his desk, and it's called Pirates 3. So it's like it's a continuity. At the same time, it's evolving because he's evolving a lot as a musician, because we never want to repeat ourselves. And so yeah, it's a different album. It stands on its own feet, Pirates 2 compared to Pirates, but it's a continuity of us exploring our creativity.
The album is also much heavier than some of your previous work, yet it also keeps the strong symphonic and cinematic elements, along with some folk influences. Could you walk me through how you balanced those diverse sounds to create such a cohesive album?
Yeah. So it's like, it's so funny because, like, when you listen to the entire album, one could tell, okay, this, like, good question, is that written by one unique person, right? Because, like, if you take Collide and Where the Sky and Ocean Blend, it's day and night. Or if you take Tonight I'm Alive and The Dead of the Sea, it's like, no, it's the same person. Meek has this, he's a fantastic musician and he's a songwriting genius, that he has many ideas all the time and they never really completely sound the same. You know, he has this capacity of writing in a way that like, I feel like he's never repeating himself too much. I mean, there are some trademarks in his approach, but there's, it's still is capable of writing very diverse material. And then it's about the arrangements, you know, like, all right, we have this song, this melody is kind of happy. We let ourselves hear what kind of instruments we would feel on that song. And sometimes it's like, oh wow, I see flutes and bagpipes. Okay, we put flutes and bagpipes, and it works because the melody works for these instruments. Or sometimes it's just we want to start with that instrument because we feel like we love to write for these instruments as well. It's part of our background of Visions of Atlantis, and our background as well musically, to go with more folkish instruments. There were plenty on Pirates already, and I think it fits the pirate world to also, you know, have a diversity of sounds in the arrangement, because it conveys the idea of traveling. And for instance, and then when we have songs like Tonight I'm Alive, we got the inspiration after we went on a holiday trip to Marrakesh in Morocco, where we saw people playing on the street percussions in a very spontaneous and improvised way, where everyone is playing together. And we thought that was so cool, and we thought, can we implement this in a song? Can we write a song like this? It was so much fun. We came home and we experimented with that, and Tonight I'm Alive came out like this. And then for the heaviness, it's more like, when we write a song, at some point we're like, okay, how do we want that part to evolve? We've already done twice a verse and a chorus, and now it's the C part, and I'm I'm a deep lover of breakdowns. I love that. I've when I was younger and I was going to concerts, my favorite thing about a concert was being able to headbang and let all the pressure out. So I've always loved the heaviness. So if there are breakdowns on the album, it's because I was like, I think we need a breakdown here, and we need a breakdown here too, and maybe we can put another one over there. So we actually like the way they came out, and if we have a couple of breakdowns on the album, it's okay if if that repeats itself because it's fine. It's metal, you know, and we wrote them in a way that they all fit the song first. You know, we really work song by song. It's like the song has to work on itself. It has to be strong. It has to be able to stand on its own leg. And then what we try to do when we created the set list, the track list, is to balance the influences. As I said, we wrote more songs than the ones who ended up on the album. And for instance, if we wrote two songs that had a I don't know, like a Celtic approach, a folk approach, we kept what we considered to be the strongest, or the song that fit, that worked the best with the rest of the tracks. And also, while songwriting, at some point when we had a song like Armada and Hellfire, which were really fast and and heavier, we were like, all right, let's be mindful that we don't put them next to each other on the track list. And then we also thought, okay, now we try to come up with other tracks so that it doesn't feel too much of this and too much of that. You know, we love that our album is very diverse, and it's just yeah, a matter of being very objective of what we're writing while we're writing it.
And speaking of the arrangement of the songs are also very immersive, and there are a lot of sound effects like creaking doors and crashing waves and winds. How did you approach creating that soundscape, and what role do those effects play in enhancing the storytelling of the album?
Yeah, we really wanted to go one step further in creating almost like a visual album. Like you listen to it and it's not just songs after songs after songs. It's there's not like a storyline. It's not a concept album, but each song is an invitation to a bigger picture, to a journey, to a little movie that you would do in your own head. And we've tried, like, it just came out naturally at some point to create longer introductions or to add an effects in the middle of a bridge, because the song is about something special and there could be real sounds that go with it. And if you listen to the whole thing, then you're really transported into the universe of the song itself. Like we're a pirate band, so the ocean and the ship and the natural elements all are all around us all the time. And so it feels absolutely natural for us to implement them and to make nature a part of our story, as a character, as a silent, as a mute character. Like it cannot talk, but it can be there as much as the nature is a part of a pirate's life. But we could control it as musicians, pirates cannot. But it was our way to densify our sound, make it also a little bit more unique, and definitely help the listener to really feel an experience beyond just listening to it. Like we want to make it, we want to tap into more senses than just the audio. We want them to be able to maybe feel the wave or the salt or the sun, or at least picture them in their mind, so that our music is multidimensional.
I'd also like to talk for a moment about the videos that accompany the songs. The costumes and makeup and overall aesthetic of the videos are incredibly detailed and completely visually striking. What was it like to work on these videos and bring the music to life in that way?
So this is a side of Visions of Atlantis that I enjoy very much, because I'm the one who's behind all the visuals and the scripts for the videos, because since I have the whole universe in mind when I write the lyrics, I sometimes already have pictures for videos or anything that goes together with the song and the lyrics that I'm writing. So it's easier for me to write a script for Armada or Monsters because I know what the song's about and I know how I want to portray it. And it's a very absolute fun part to imagine as a little movie with a storyline, or at least like a main action going on, or depicting, yeah, a concept with monsters, which is way more metaphorical than objective. It's and I think some of our videos, they help people understand the deeper meaning of our songs, and that's important to me, that both worlds are so consistent, you know, together, that the song and the video is one block, it's one unit, and you can appreciate the video on its own, you can appreciate the song on its own, and together they just enhance each other. So it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work in on the script, given the parameters I have to work with. Like, I know shootings have to happen on 2 days. Generally, I know who is going to be making the video, so I know their way of doing videos. If it's going to be green screen, if it's going to be studio, I don't start thinking in the same manner. And I've been very lucky so far. The people that are then directing the videos, they understood my vision, and we have a dialogue previously, like prior to the shooting, to make sure we're on the same page. And during the shooting time, we talk a lot, we exchange, we look at how it's looking like, we approve stuff together, and I feel really much involved into the full creative process. And this is very fulfilling. Like it's a complete piece that comes to life together with the song, and I feel very happy that I have the chance to do that.
Awesome. That's amazing. Many fans also connect very deeply with your lyrics. So for you personally, and also as the voice of the Pirate Queen, are there any specific songs on this record that hold a special place for you?
So it's always difficult because since I write from my personal experience, and the lyrics are filled with things that I've personally felt or been through, even if I don't necessarily talk about a specific situation. They're all personal. I'm deeply connected to all of them. But on this record, there is a song that for some reason hits me a little deeper, and I think it's "The Dead of the Sea." For its whole vibe, for the topic of the song, which is acknowledging that sometimes we're responsible for hurting the people we love, and they become the dead of the sea. They're not necessarily dead. It's just to say that sometimes we hurt others, and sometimes we may even kill a part of themselves, you know, like you don't pay attention to your judgments and you just threw them out there. You can kill someone's hope, someone's dream, someone's intention into something. So this is a song to acknowledge our responsibility in the way we harm each other, even if sometimes we don't even want to harm, or sometimes we feel like we have to harm because we need to protect ourselves, but it's never really the way. And I think it's a pretty intense topic that I don't always hear around. It's always someone else's fault what happens to you, you know. And I think that song has this meaning that brings people back to the consequence of their own behaviors, in a nutshell.
Well, that's beautiful, and such a great message to share. So I'm excited for people to hear it. You'll be setting sail on a massive European tour this year as well. What are your most anticipated destinations, and are there any new territories that you are especially eager to explore with this new album?
So I'm excited for the whole tour because we're going to come back to a lot of places where we've been to some years ago, and the pre-sales are extremely promising. So I have the feeling like it's going to be, okay, we're playing some of the same cities, but not the same venues. And we're going to have like way more people than last time. So it feels like some like fans are hearing our call and boarding the ship. And I'm eager to go back to the UK, for instance. We have 3 shows there. Can't wait to return to France because we had such an amazing welcome to come back to Poland, and then yeah, to Budapest, to all those German dates as well, to Southern Europe. With the last time it was a bit crazy in Milan, and I'm sure it's going to be crazy again. We can feel there is a very strong wave of enthusiasm for this tour, for our new album, and I can't wait for people to just listen to Pirates to Armada, got their ticket, and come have fun with us on this tour. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the biggest tour, headline tour Visions has ever done, with the biggest production ever, when it's possible to put it up, because some venues still are large, but the stage is still small. So we'll have to deal with all that. It's not going to be the same show 33 times, but it's definitely going to be the best show we've ever done.
Well, thank you again for taking the time to speak with me today. Is there anything
Thank you for
else that
having me.
you, of course, is there anything else that you would like to add and share with the fans?
Yeah, well, especially for our US fans, we're doing a big Armada tour in Europe, but we're not forgetting about US, and we're currently getting into booking the next headline tour for Visions of Atlantis, which should be April 2025. And this is going to be a blast as well.